All right, we are live on the Coach Eli television network. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight. Tonight. It is Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. I believe that's the correct date. Yes, it is. Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. The holiday season is here. December is here. My birthday is less than 2 weeks away, 10 days away on December 17th. And you know what? I'm hoping to plan something really special here for you folks regarding my birthday. So to the mods behind the scenes, if you're around, let's try to do something crazy for Coach Eli's 48th birthday this year. What do you say about that? Have a great show for you planned here tonight. Crazy Dating Stories, Volume 5. That's coming up. But before we get to all of that, let me just make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it has gone out. Let me also check out the back end of all three platforms and make sure things are rolling smoothly. YouTube looks good. Facebook is rolling smoothly now in 1080p, 60 frames per second on Facebook as well. Fantastic. Great job, Facebook. You're getting there. You're still nowhere near, YouTube quality, but hey, you've gotten a heck of a lot better than you used to be with your limitations of quality and duration. It's gotten a lot better, so that's awesome. And we're also simulcasting on DLive, and DLive is always running well. They've always allowed unlimited quality. It's amazing. DLive just has really, really super quality. I just wish there was a better way for DLive to promote its creators, but who knows? One day they will get there. So, yeah. Before we get to Crazy Dating Stories Volume 5, and I have five new Reddit stories to share. I always pick the best Reddit stories to share that will help you folks learn a thing or two or three or four or five, right? Before we get to that, I just want to update you folks that I've been putting out a ton of pre-recorded content lately. Earlier this morning, I published a brand new Walking with Purpose pre-recorded video at 4K 60 frames per second. So check that out if you missed it. You can also go back to the playlist on my channel and check out all the previous Walking with Purpose videos, the short version of my live stream, Walking with Purpose Live. I've been doing pre-recorded clips in 4K at 60 frames per second. In about less than 50 minutes, about 48 minutes from now, the next episode of Bedtime Stories with Eli will publish while we're actually live on the air. If you're here live, check it out after the show. I've got some great bedtime stories I'm sharing for you folks before you go to bed each and every night. And I got to say, earlier today was a very, very extremely productive day. Earlier this morning, I recorded two pre-recorded videos from my couch, some impromptu type of pre-recorded videos on top of the other two segments I run, Walking with Purpose in 4K 60 and Bedtime Stories in 4K 60. Those will be released at some point this week. And I also went to the park and recorded next week's 5 episodes of Walking with Purpose in 4K 60. Those will be coming out next week, starting on Monday through Friday. And I even recorded a 6th video, a very, very special video that will be released closer to the end of this week. Who knows? Maybe I'll even get to that over the next couple of days. I just have a lot of rendering to do and editing to do, and I have a fast laptop, but it still takes time, folks. And I'm going to continue cranking out that content because I want to be here for you all day, every day. If you have an issue in your life that involves, personal or professional aspects I'm here to help you with my 47, almost 48 years of experience. And I just want to help each and every one of you get the best possible grips on your life so that way you can all accomplish whatever it is that your heart or hearts desire. And the holidays are here. I want to make sure that you all have somebody there for you during this holiday season because I know many of you are alone. Many of you either have very little family left or no family left. I just want you folks to know that regardless, I will be here for you. I will be preparing a ton of content for the Christmas week and especially Christmas Day. I'll probably also do a live stream on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. There's a lot of content coming here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily on YouTube at youtube.com/LifeCoachEli. But anything I do from the studio, I always also simulcast on Facebook and D Live. But again, if you want to get the most of everything, come over to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/LifeCoachEli. The links are shared on D Live, Facebook. And if you're here on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button. Tap the bell to the right of the subscribe button. And then after you tap the bell, make sure you select all notifications so that way you won't miss anything. You'll be notified right away when I go live or publish a brand new pre-recorded video. Yeah. Oh, man. So much to do, so little time. I also need to renew my insurance licenses, even though I'm not using them currently, and I may never use them again, but you never know. So I've got that to take care of. I need to do continuing education around 20 hours or so by January 31st, and then pay some nice fees. I have a property and casualty license and a life and health license, and my renewal fees are almost $400, so like $378. It's not cheap, but if you have the license, even if you're not using it, you got to keep renewing it because you never know if you're ever going to need to use it again. Plus, it allows me to talk about coverage, and I can still help out, my friends and other people for free of charge by reviewing their insurance. I just am not going to sell them any new insurance because I don't sell it at the time being, or may never do it again. All right, enough with that. Enough with the monologue. Let's get to the first of 5 Reddit stories tonight. Crazy Dating Stories, Volume 5. And I did iron this shirt, but for some reason it's still a little wrinkled. Oh, I don't like that. But anyway, you're gonna have to deal with a little bit of a wrinkly, nice shirt tonight. Anyway, I don't know what happened. Maybe I used the wrong setting on my iron, but oh well. When I switch over to the other screen, you will see a mini version of me on the bottom right. So yeah, let's just go ahead and switch over to the browser screen and get to the first of 5 Reddit postings. I'm going to go over the first 3 here during the first segment, and then after I get through the third one, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to come back and do the last 2. The first 2 Reddit postings are pretty short, if I remember correctly. So we'll read some additional comments to throw some extra, stuff in there. And then the third one is going to be pretty lengthy. So anyway, let's get right to it. All right, this is from the subreddit relationships_advice. And the original poster states, who considers this wrong in a marriage? My allergies are acting up. Give me a second. Oh, my allergies are acting up, and I've been talking all day. I've recorded 8 other videos in addition to doing this live stream, which will probably last an hour and a half or so, maybe 2 hours at the most. Got to do what you got to do. You got to take care of that throat and those vocal cords, right? All right. So once again, the original poster posts, who considers this wrong in a marriage? I just found my husband has been sleazing on half-naked women on IG, which is Instagram. and I feel so hurt. Wow. So your husband is checking out half-naked photos by some very insecure, immature, and extremely validation-seeking type of women on Instagram. That's what they do. They'll go out there and, even the really thick women, they will do the side angle shot. They'll stick out their booty and they'll lean forward to give you a little cleavage, right? And they do that just to get likes and validation, right? A lot of these guys think that they have a shot with these women, but they absolutely don't. These women just want to build their audience and then redirect these people to somewhere else, like a website or somewhere, and make money. Okay. But yeah, this woman is not happy because she's saying, I just found my husband has been sleazing on half-naked women on Instagram, and I feel so hurt. I don't blame you, ma'am. We both openly watch porn together on occasion, so I'm far from prudish, but I can't help feel disgusted. Any feedback is appreciated. Ma'am, did he push you into watching porn? Was it his idea, or was it both of your ideas, or both of your idea together, right? It sounds like your husband is a player type. Maybe he's a little insecure. Maybe he's a bit immature. He's probably a very good-looking guy, which is why you're with him. Probably makes decent money, but probably still hasn't grown up. And see, man, this is what these people do that post on Reddit. They don't tell us how old they are because, if she shared, their ages, that would have said something more about, his personal maturity. I'm assuming that this couple is somewhere in their 20s. That's what I would guess. But let's see. I would not be happy if I was in her shoes, or if I was dating a woman and she felt the need to watch porn, because I'm not satisfying her enough. All that's saying is that you aren't enough for him. You don't cut it for him sexually and romantically. Because if you did, he'd be too busy trying to have relations with you, ma'am, instead of going on Instagram, right? And I mean, I think that's even worse than watching porn because on Instagram, you're actually checking out real women. He's probably trying to hook up with them. Anyway, down below in the comment section, I would not be happy if my partner did this at all. I would be horrified. I don't blame you, ma'am. Asking on Reddit may not be the best way to get a real perspective, as I am sure it is mostly young guys who likely do the exact same thing. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. That's what it is. It's these young guys in their 20s, around their early to mid-20s. They're very immature, very insecure. They come from broken households. Men are just not being raised to be men anymore. I'm not saying this about all men, but the majority of them just do not have a good upbringing or a strong enough father figure. And in many cases, they don't have a father figure. They have the mother as a single mother that's playing the role of the mother and the father. And that just throws these guys off. You've got one of those, ma'am. I see this not really lasting much longer. I see this ending up in divorce and adding on more to the already high divorce rate of over 60% here in the U.S. More than 1 out of every 2 couples that get married get divorced here in the U.S. And it's like this in most other countries as well. I have told my partner I would not tolerate it in our relationship. If there is a large volume of pictures or maybe bordering on the line of addiction. I think you wrote that a little off, but I think what you're trying to say is that, maybe he's looking at pictures on the internet, saving them on his phone or saving them on his computer. I mean, look, the bottom line is this. A guy's either totally into you or he's not into you. And same thing with women. They're either totally into you or not. If a guy or a gal feels the need to stray elsewhere, fulfill their sexual desires, then they're not really into their current partner. But they're sticking around because they're getting something else from that partner. It could be emotional support, financial support, maybe mental support. But it's just not fair. It's just not fair to the other person that you're doing this to. Anyway, original poster response that says, "Thank you." All right. Give me just a second here. I will be periodically checking in on Facebook and D Live throughout the show. Looks like we're all clear so far. All right. So let's get to the next comment by a woman. "Depending on your own boundaries within your relationship, I would say this is teetering on the line between just plain disregard for your relationship and feelings or cheating, depending on how much he has interacted." Here's the thing. He shouldn't be doing this at all. Even if he's like thinking about this, it's kind of wrong, but at least there's no way you can prove that, right? If he's actively going out on Instagram or actively watching porn and he's married to this woman, then, he's just not into her anymore. And, here's the thing. The number one thing that ends marriages nowadays is a lack of sex, because everything else could be great. Maybe they get along as friends. Maybe they have an emotional bond. Maybe they have a great communication. But maybe they just don't turn each other on or fit together physically. And if that physical, passion and romance isn't there, it doesn't matter if everything else is there. It's just not going to work out. It's time to move on. Time to move on. I know this is a horrible position to be in, as I have dealt with similar in the past. Yeah, it's a horrible position. So you got to, divorce the guy and move on. I mean, why is it so hard to do that? Is it because you're dependent on him for financial support or something else? Typically, women stay in relationships longer or marriages longer because of the financial support. They can't do it without the man, and they just don't want to admit that, because nowadays the big push has been about women being empowered and independent. We don't need a man for anything. We make our own money, right? And if a woman is not making enough money to survive on her own, it's like, and she's with a guy, and she leaves that guy, she's going to be in a pretty bad position, right? But it's still not right to stay in that marriage just because of that, especially if you're feeling that your husband's going astray because he doesn't feel that, sexual spark for you anymore. Wow. If you ever want to vent about it, feel free to message me. All right, that's very nice of her. Awesome. Now we've got, I think this is a guy named obligatory_burner. It really doesn't matter what we consider it, just what you dudes consider it. So this is a woman. Okay, I thought it was a man. All right. "This has hit an insecurity for you, and it is a valid one. Instagram, OnlyFans, and even Reddit give a person far more direct connection than ever with and to adult models." Dude, if you're telling this woman this has hit an insecurity for her and it's a valid one, well, if you're saying it's a valid one, then it's not an insecurity. This is an actual concern. There's a difference between having concerns and being insecure. I honestly think right now, if this woman is telling the truth, which I don't know why she wouldn't, right? Okay. This is a concern. It's a valid concern. Insecurity here is not the right word. "This is new territory for the vast majority of the modern world, and there is really no precedence to help any of us navigate and understand it." Here's the thing. You're saying that we have too many options at our fingertips with these damn smartphones, right? And laptops and desktops, right? So you're saying just because we have these options that allow us to much more easily stray from our partners doesn't mean we should do it. And if we're not feeling it for our partner, right, we should let them know and move on, and let them move on so they can find what they want and we can find what we want, right? These young kids nowadays they don't get it. These men are ridiculous nowadays. Wow. My advice, what I would do is make a list of what makes me uncomfortable with this. No need to make a list. Just talk with the guy. Make a list for what? Talk with the guy and say, look, are you still sexually attracted to me or not? Because if you're not, then maybe we should divorce. That's it. That's where it should go. Make a list of what makes me feel uncomfortable with this. Nah. And then address each issue first with myself or the anonymous internet friends. No, just talk to her husband directly. Why do you have to go to your internet friends and get their blessing before you share how you feel with your husband? This is pathetic. This is what you kids are doing nowadays. You go to the internet for everything, right? And you lack the communication with the actual person you need to communicate with. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Wow. Then when I've sorted what's fair / practical and reasonable, I talk with my partner, offer my perspectives, and express my vulnerabilities and questions I have with the situation. I disagree with you, obligatory burner. That was horrible. Horrible, right? All she needs to do is have a talk with him and lay down the law. If she's not happy, she needs to tell him that. She has the right to withdraw from the marriage, so does he, right? He needs to, or she needs to go to him and say, listen, babe, we need to talk before bed tonight. Oh, I don't have time, babe. Well, babe, you're either going to make the time or I'm going to go and spend the night at my mother's house and I'm going to be there for a while. She needs to lay down the law. This guy is taking advantage of her kindness, right? So then he'll say, okay, babe, tell me. Here's the thing. You know what? You're going on Instagram and, you're looking at half-naked women. And, I'm not being insecure about this. It's a valid concern. Do you feel the need to do that, to relieve your sexual tension? Why can't you relieve that with me? Are you not feeling the same way romantically and sexually to me as you used to? Because if not, just let me know and we should part ways. We should get a divorce. Because I want to be with a man that's totally into me, including sexually. And if you're not, then you know what? Let me go and I'll let you go so we can each find someone we are more compatible with, right? And I bet that will wake him up, right? Now, he may say, oh, baby, okay, I won't do it. I'll change. How can I believe you that you're going to change? It's real simple to go out there and do this. You can do this even when I'm not around you, okay? I'll change, right? If he says he'll change and he'll stop doing that, I'd give him one chance. And the way you test him is you try to be romantic with him, almost every night of the week. Try to do something romantic with him. If it's not sexual, at least making out or something in the bedroom before you go to bed. If he shrugs you off just one time, then he's not into you or not into you anymore, and then you need to move on. But if he's really into you and this does turn him around, you'll be able to tell by how passionate he is with you. Thanks. This is the original poster responding. Thanks. I suppose it was the volume of pics that I saw. Every single picture was a girl half naked. It was, I think you miswrote this here. It was, he used Instagram for this alone. And when I confronted him, he denied it like I'm stupid. Yeah, because he got caught. He got caught. And he doesn't want you to know that he's not as sexually attracted to you or he doesn't desire you sexually as much as he did initially when you two first met before you got married. Maybe the marriage thing changed him. Who knows? Okay? I just feel let down, to be honest. I don't blame you, man. You married the wrong guy, it sounds like. We've only been married a year and this is happening again. Happening again. So you're telling me this happened before you got married? Or it's happened once before while you were married? If this happened before you got married, man, why'd you marry him? For security? Does he make good money? There's a reason here, man. There's a reason here. That's why a lot of women get caught up in these marriages that weren't meant to be because they need the financial support from the man they're dating. Look at this. The person below said the same thing. Happening again? Question mark. Also, is he just looking at the pics or commenting on them too? For me, I think the biggest betrayal is the denying it and hiding it from me. Yeah, that means he's trying to keep it from her because she knows it'll hurt her feelings, right? And him trying to keep it from her by denying it basically more so shows guilt and shows that he's losing attraction for her or has lost attraction for her and needs to get that sexual charge type of feeling elsewhere. If it wasn't a big deal, he would have been more open about it, or he wouldn't have done it. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. One more, and then we're going to go to the next one. Depends on what you're comfortable with. Personally, looking and commenting wouldn't bother me. But if my partner was DMing or having personal interactions, that would be crossing the line for me. Why even look at these women if the only woman that matters to him is, the one that he's seen, right? Okay? Come on, don't be ridiculous here. A lot of you women are saying, oh, it's cool, I look, so it's okay if my man looks, but don't touch, right? Don't engage, right? Don't engage in conversation and don't touch and, looking, you can look all you want. I mean, I think personally going out there to look at pictures online, you're actually going out of your way to do it. It's different than actually seeing people when you're out and about. If you're with your lady or your man and you see other people as you walk by and you notice them and they're attracted to you, sure, you're going to look, but you're not going to touch and you're not going to do anything because you're satisfied with the person you're with. But online, you have a choice of whether you go to that site or not. There's a big difference there. Annual Vanilla 1095, the original poster says, thanks, I replied above by mistake. Okay, no worries. And that's actually everything there. We went through the whole thing. All right. Let's go to the next subreddit posting. We are at 27 minutes. 27 minutes. This is from the subreddit Dating Over 30. And the original poster states, I think I need help. Oh, sorry, my toxic trait. Sorry, my toxic trait is the title. And the posting says, I think I need help. As soon as I even get a whiff of someone not being interested in me, or at least not as interested in me as I am in them, no matter how early the interaction, I just pretty much remove myself from the situation, which has been premature in the past, but it is almost like a relief. Sorry, it's almost like a reflex, a reflex. Is this unreasonable? Does anyone else do this? This is totally reasonable. I'll tell you why. Before I met the woman I'm with today, and I was in the dating scene, okay, I was using Hinge, I was using, Bumble, Match.com, right? And, I would get a lot of women to interact with me, but a lot of them were also interacting with many other guys, right? And so you have to gauge the level of interest by what they're saying. Are their messages short, or are they a little bit longer, like taking the time to get to know you? Okay. Are they sending you canned messages, or are they sending you real messages? Okay. Does it take them a long time to get back to you, like days, or do they get back to you almost right away? Right? So when you get that feeling of someone not being that interested in you, like even if you take the phone and then you meet in person and, they're not communicating with you regularly and you don't see each other regularly, you gotta just let them go. You have to eliminate them. So I totally understand what this person's saying here. I'm assuming that it's a woman, but I could be wrong. Let's go down to the comments section and see what the people in the comments say. I'm this way as well. Good. It is a mark of avoidant attachment. I don't think it is. I think it's a smart way of using your intuition to pick up that, hey, this person, while they may be nice to me at times, they're not communicating regularly. They're inconsistent. maybe they're talking to some other women that they're more interested in. They're trying to keep me on the back burner. If somebody's really interested in you and you're their top choice, they're going to focus all their energy on you, or most of it, and they're going to communicate with you regularly. They're going to want to talk on the phone. They're going to give you their number, talk on the phone, and then they're going to meet you in person, and it'll just naturally progress. So, yeah. We become disinterested / end things ourselves before someone can do it to us first. I don't think that's what the original poster is talking about. I get that. And I think that's a stupid way, for, women will end up doing that. Men never will break up with a woman first that they're really into. If they sense she's going to break up with them, just to beat them to the punch, only women do that. That's an emotional, protective, reaction there. And that's definitely a woman writing that. And she says she put 35 there. I'm assuming that's her age. This post should be at the top, 100%. It is a defense mechanism to shield you from rejection, abandonment. Nope, no, that's not true. That's not what I gathered from this woman's posting. You young bucks, you all think like you have 47, almost 48 years of experience like me, right? You all think you're like psychology experts, right? This is not a defense mechanism. This is her not wanting her time wasted because she's probably gone on many dates with guys that have lied to her, that have catfished her, that have wasted her time, and she's just trying to filter people out better. Listen, if you get a negative feeling about somebody early on, it's more than likely true you need to go with that, right? If something is meant to be, it's going to feel natural and it's going to flow smoothly, and neither side, the man or the woman, is going to feel, like putting up, what do you call it, a defense mechanism or something like that. They're just going to let it naturally happen because it feels natural, right? So, funky cinema, that's a very, very wrong and misleading assessment right there. Your brain is looking back at your past traumas and noping the fuck out to protect you. This is ridiculous, dude. You have no... This is the problem here. These young bucks, trying to help them through their young bucks, are giving them the wrong information. If you can afford to see a therapist, they can help you work on this. She doesn't need a therapist. I think it's a woman that wrote the original posting. All she's saying is as soon as I even get a whiff of someone not being interested in me, or at least not as interested in me as I am in them, no matter how early the interaction, I just pretty much remove myself from the situation. Nothing wrong with that. I think everybody does that. And then this dude is saying, "Oh, I think it's a defense mechanism, and you need to see a therapist and this and that." No, dude, this is ridiculous. Also, you're in good company. About 1 in every 4 people have an avoidant attachment style. You're trying to sound. Are you like getting this from like Coach Craig Kenneth, who talks about this stuff all the time out here on YouTube? Although you are unlikely to be close friends with too many of them because you are all too busy avoiding attachment with each other. This is a dude that cherry-picked some coach's videos out here on YouTube and is trying to be something that he's not. This is ridiculous. Now, Medium Basket 4724 responds to the last person's, part of the last person's postings. You're in good company. About 1 in every 4 people have an avoidant attachment style. Although you are unlikely to be close friends with too many of them because you are all too busy avoiding attachment with each other. God damn, that's funny. You know what's funny about it is it makes no sense because this guy has no clue what he's talking about. And he's got this woman or this original poster, which I think is a woman, completely misread on what they were writing. Yep, totally not. To cry laughing about it over here. I know. I LOL too. All right. And this person's responding to part of someone else's comment above, the part that stated, this post should be at the top 100%. It is a defense mechanism to shield you from rejection and abandonment. The same person that's put the wrong information out there. Your brain is looking back at your past traumas and noping the fuck out to protect you. And this commenter responds to that by saying, to add, it doesn't always manifest in quitting, breaking, leaving before the other person can. It can very often be a natural lack of interest relative to the other person. It could be lack of interest on either side. This is ridiculous. Sifu Smo's in the house. What's going on, brother? How long you been here, man? I just noticed you. Let me toggle the timestamps here. You've been here 37. You've been here for 8 minutes. Welcome to the show, bro. How's it going tonight? Yeah, I've been putting out a ton of content lately, Dion, Sifu Smo channel. Don't let the trolls eat you up, bro. You got some maintenance to do on your channel, right? Anyway, I'm just saying. Dion. Anyway. Let's see here. So to add, it doesn't always manifest in quitting, breaking, leaving before the other person can. I think I read that. It can very often be a natural lack of interest relative to the other person. I just read that. Basically, you equals we, as in all of us avoiding attachment types, always make sure that the other person needs you more than you need them. This has nothing to do with the avoidant or anxious avoidant attachment style. The dude that posted this was probably cherry picking some other coach's information, because I've watched all of them. I follow Craig Kenneth, I follow Coach Corey Wayne, Coach Dan Bacon, and many others. The best of the best, right? So I know where you guys are getting your information from, and you're completely wrong here. Completely wrong. In every relationship, one person is more interested. One person is more attached. One person loves the other more. That's not true. You should both be equally attracted to each other and equally attached. The difference is you got to let the woman, basically, the woman has to perceive always that she's more interested in you just a little bit more than you're interested in her, because she needs to feel like she's won a prize, or else they get turned off. That's just how women work. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, if you both aren't as close to equally interested into each other as possible, it's just not going to work out. One person loves the other more. Hopefully it's fairly closer to the middle. It should be exactly in the middle, or damn close to it, yes. But it's never truly equal. It can be equal if you and the woman allow it to be equal. With my lady and I, it's totally equal, and I respect her as my equal. I do. I totally do. That's why we get along. I respect her as a woman. She respects me as a man, but we respect each other as each other's equals. I don't try to say I'm any better than her. She doesn't try to say she's any better than me. We just get along. We accept each other for who we are, because we have a similar heart and soul, and, we have physical attraction too. That does help. I mean, it has to be there, but it's more than just that. Avoidant attachment types naturally ensure that they're never the person on the more involved, interested, loving side. You guys are going off on this avoidant attachment BS crap. Like, this is true. Attachment styles are something I've talked about before, and they do make sense. This does not apply to this original poster's, question or concerns. We're at 39 minutes. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the truth. It protects us from the pain, but it also sucks majorly not being able to fully enjoy the moment. Always that little they could leave any moment thought in the back of your mind. Now, this whole comment section has been derailed far away from answering the actual statement that the original poster was concerned about. Remember, as soon as I even get a whiff of someone not being interested in me, or at least not as interested in me as I am in them. No matter how early the interaction, I just pretty much remove myself from the situation. Women are very intuitive, and if they pick up early on that you're not that interested in them, they're going to just move on. What's wrong with that? How is that, avoidant attachment style? That's just, her figuring out early on that dude's not the right guy for her. All right, enough of that. I think you folks get the point. I'm going to read one more here, then I'm going to take a break. If Dion's still around, he's going to like this one. This one caught my attention. This is from the subreddit dating. And the original poster states, "Would you date a garbage man? Question mark. Would you date a garbage man? I need advice." So let's read what he wrote. I read this already. This is a good story. It's short, but it's good. "So I have a job opportunity. Not an job opportunity, sir. Now you're spelling like a garbage man. No disrespect. But I still like you, okay? So I have a job opportunity. A local trash company has offered to pay me $34 an hour. That's pretty damn good for being a garbage man. $34 an hour? Not only would that put me at an annual income of over $100K with overtime, that's damn good income, brother. Six-figure income, being a garbage man? Hell yeah. With overtime, it would also be a better schedule for me." So, sorry, let me read it again. Not only would that put me at an annual income of over $100K with overtime, it would also be a better schedule for me. Monday to Friday, maybe Monday through Friday would be better, say. Day shift, holidays off. I'd be making about 30 grand a year more than I am now for the same hours, but better shift. Dude, that's great. I mean, you got to take pride in being the garbage man, brother. Literally, the only downside is I don't want to tell a potential date that I'm a garbage man. So, Eli, what do you do for a living? I'm a garbage man. Oh, Eli, I'm sorry. I make 100 grand a year. Oh, I'm sorry for judging you, Eli. I didn't know garbage men made that much. You notice how we still call garbage a garbage man, right? I'm not saying that there aren't any female garbage handlers, right? Or waste handlers, whatever you call them, right? But still, the majority of people that are handling garbage are men. Wow. So, dude, here's the thing. If any woman dismisses you because you're a garbage man making over 100K a year, then that's really shallow. Dude, that's good money. That's very good money. Now here in the Bay Area, where I live, the San Francisco Bay Area, it would be average money. I mean, you could still live off of that, but, you wouldn't be able to buy a house. You could rent, sure. But that's still a good salary. And in most states here in the U.S., that's a damn good salary, bro. You can buy a house with that in most areas. Outside of the San Francisco Bay Area, that is, and maybe New York and some other major metropolitan cities. I'm going to take the job anyway, but I'm afraid I have to admit I'm going to call myself a delivery driver or something. No, dude. Dude, you need to be honest with women. And you need to also let them know that you make very good money doing it. You got a $30,000 pay increase doing it, right? You don't have to tell them what you make. You could if you want. That's up to you, right? But let them know, you know what? I got a job for a waste management company that pays me $30K more a year. Or you could say, I got a 30% pay increase, which is why I took it. So what do you do for the waste management company? Are you like a garbage man? Yes, that's what I do. And does that pay pretty well, they may ask? Well, I didn't really want to talk about salary at this point, but yeah, I'll just put it to you this way. It's a six-figure, a year income. Really? For a garbage man? You see, as long as you let the women know that you're doing well, right? The garbage man stereotype, you know, went out the door long ago, right? There was a point in time, like in the 80s and 90s, where it was frowned upon to be a garbage man because I think they made a lot less back then, but they're making a lot more money nowadays. Like, $34 an hour. That's 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 money that some retail managers are making as store managers. That's good money, man. I'll just be honest about it. And the right woman that's not shallow will be like, cool. Okay. Let's see what the comment section says. Let's read a few comments before we take our first break. Please, for the love of God, don't turn down $30K a year and better schedule just because you don't think it will reflect as well on days. Take care of yourself first. Amen. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. All right, give me just a second here. Let me make sure that, okay, we're good. All right. Just say you're a waste management consultant like Tony Soprano. No, just be honest. If you're a garbage man, you're a garbage man. Waste management engineer sounds even better and modern. Waste management engineer. You know what you guys are doing right now? You're doing the same thing that society did for women. They no longer call women secretaries. They call them administrative assistants, right? Sounds so fancy, right? I'm not a secretary anymore. I'm an administrative assistant. I'm an admin assistant. Oh, you're so cool. Fancy title, right? Or resource management specialist too, if you want to be more misleading. This is ridiculous. Pull a OGLOK and say you're a hygiene technician. It's funny, man. You're a hygiene technician. Old school gangsta. Environmental management. Self-respect and love of oneself, life definitely gives off a good vibe. Well, you threw that in out of nowhere, but that's perfect. I'll give you a big round of applause for that. That was a nice thing to throw in there in the middle of everything. Excellent. My hospital calls the position environmental service technician. Say you have a passion for protecting the environment. So you're no longer a garbage man or garbage woman, right? You are an environmental service technician. What's this world gone to? Fancy terminology. Trying to, make certain jobs appear more fancy sounding than they actually are. I'm not criticizing, people that are in waste management or in the garbage collection industry, right? Which is what it's called. Now we call it waste management because it sounds more professional, right? It's just sad. It's just sad, you can't even say the word retarded anymore nowadays in any context. You have to say, mentally challenged is what it is. They call it you're mentally challenged, right? Now, I've never been critical of anyone, right? But we've had to change our terminology because of the stereotypical stigma that people have used when referring to certain, types of people or certain types of, job positions or industries, right? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Welcome to the show, Uncle T. You have a brand new channel there. You've got 1 subscriber, 7 views. Joined October 30th, 2021. Uncle T, how'd you find out about the channel, brother? Are you trolling, bro? You trolling, brother? Or do you actually love my content, bro? You can let me know, brother. I haven't banned you yet. Come on, man. Let's see here. A couple more here before we go on break. You're cool like the Dilbert garbage man in my book. Cool, yeah, you see? Just, own it, man. I'm a garbage man, right? You can have fun with it and say, well, I'm in waste management, but honestly, I'm a garbage man. But I get paid really well to do it. And it's pay increase, right? And you know what? Okay. Sorry, I'm getting some messages here. If a woman you're with or people you're around discredit it, then you don't have to be their friend, or you don't have to, talk to that woman anymore, right? The right people won't make a big deal out of it. That's good money, bro. So, Uncle T, are you not going to talk now because I got you pegged as a troll, and you know you're one message away from getting banned? Come on, Uncle T. He already makes 70, so he'd be giving up 30 net. Well, I think it was 30 gross, but still, even an extra 30K gross is a lot. That's what, like a 40% pay increase from 70, right? Something like that, right? Yep, I see that now. Sorry, English is not my second language. You mean your first language? 100K a year. He makes 70 now, so he'd be giving up 30 net. Well, wasn't that just... Oh, dude, you keep posting the same thing. I love people that would rather have anyone and have a shit life than have a good life and then be with someone that respects them. The right woman will respect and appreciate him. He's making good money doing it, so I wouldn't worry about it. I'd be secure about it. The way he handles it is how women are going to react to it. And if some women just eliminate all garbage men, no matter what they make, then they're not the right woman for this guy. It'll leave a space open for the right woman. Exactly. Put you first. Your job does not define you. Sir, that you spelled you're there, Y-O-U''R-E. That's you are. So it's your job, Y-O-U-R, not you are job. These kids, man, they got their, your and your all confused. Come on now. Maybe that was an iPhone or Android typo, right? You should be proofreading. This dude about to be beating dates off with a stick over 100K. Of course, that's good money. That's really good money in most parts of the country. It's average money here. It's a little below the median income here in the San Francisco Bay Area, but most other states and areas in the U.S., that's top tier. Nothing to worry about. You can always say you work in waste management on the first date, but honestly, I think a quality date wouldn't judge you off the bat because you're a garbage man. I agree. They're pretty essential to daily life, and it sounds like you're making some sweet coin from the job. What's to hate, aside from potentially laundry duty? That couldn't have said any better myself. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. So it looks like Uncle T is not going to talk with me anymore. So Uncle T, you're going to have yourself a wonderful night. And best of luck to you. Take care, Uncle T. I did notice my sub count go up a little bit. It's these trolls that are recharging their sock accounts because they have to wait 24 hours before they can chat in my chat. I have my YouTube chat set to subscribers only mode, meaning that anyone, only people that have been subscribed to me for 24 hours or more can chat. Anyway. All right, folks. Enough said there. I'm going to go back to full screen. We are at 55 minutes. Go back to full screen. I'm going to queue up some royalty-free YouTube music, take a quick break, and then come back with the last two postings, which are going to be even more interesting. I've got a couple of very interesting ones. Actually, one's a motivational one, and one is extremely interesting. Didn't know that was a troll? Well, I've got the go-to channel extension where I can still check out channels like we used to over a year ago before YouTube locked that out, Dion. You know me, I'm like the YouTube guru. I'm like the YouTube god. At least that's what you think, Dion, right? It's all good. I ironed this damn shirt, and it's still a little wrinkled. That's okay. We're just gonna put up with it. It's all good in the hood. Let's cue up that damn music. Great to see you're still here, Dion. All right, let's cue it up. Cue it up. Cue it up. Let me see. I've got a couple of songs there already queued up. Oh, I like that one. And one more. Come on. Which one is it going to be? Which one is it going to be? Let me see. All right. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for maybe like an 8 to 9 minute break or so. When we get back, we have the final two crazy dating story Reddit postings to go over. The first one when we get back is going to be from the subreddit relationships_advice. And the title is Boyfriend and I Experiencing Dry Spell Help. Oh boy, that's not good. And then we're going to wrap up the show by going to the subreddit seduction with a little motivation here. And the original poster states, don't try to impress, but instead express. Express your true self and let the other person get to know the real you. I could not have said that any better myself. So that's what we're going to go over when we get back. So stick around. Stick around. Stick around, round. We'll be right love this background tonight. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time, folks. It's Christmas time. Yeah. Yeah, little Ethan Mixel to get us fired up for the second half of the show. Yeah, baby. Rip it, Ethan. Rip it, baby. Rip it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I feel real good. I hope you all feel great tonight. Get ready for a great second half of the show. Yeah. Let's do it. That's right. Let's do it. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Live here on the Coach Eli Television Network. Primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/LifeCoachEli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you are on Facebook and D Live and you'd like to get more than just these in-studio live stream simulcasts, you're going to have to come over to YouTube, where you will get almost daily live Walking with Purpose streams from mobile. You will also get a ton of pre-recorded content. I have been cranking out pre-recorded content lately like it's out of style, and I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to give you folks as much content as possible every day. At least 2 to 3 pieces of content per day between live streams and pre-recorded videos. I want to help each and every one of you get the best possible grips on your lives, so that way you can all accomplish whatever it is that your hearts desire. Yeah, oh yeah. And on YouTube also, you can become a channel member if you'd like for as little as $4.99 per month or as much as $99.99 per month, and 3 other packages in between. They will all get you the exact same thing. It's just up to you how much you want to donate each month to sponsor the channel. You can also donate via PayPal or by Cash App. Nightbot's sharing the link every 7 minutes or so in the YouTube chat. And I've also shared the links on Facebook and D Live. Or on YouTube, you go to the bottom of the chat, you'll see that beautiful $sign there. That's the super chat and the super sticker. You know, hey, you feel like, throwing me a bone because you've received some value, that's on you. If not, enjoy the show regardless. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ethan Mixel is fantastic. Probably one of the best artists on the YouTube audio library. Got to use a YouTube audio library. It's the only thing that's guaranteed to not get you a content ID claim and demonetize your videos, or your live streams, Got to play by the rules. You play by the rules, you're all good. I've got a very good, clean, monetized channel here on YouTube, and it's been that way for the last 2 years. Got monetized about a year after I started this channel, just had its 3-year anniversary, and it's been monetized for 2 years with no issues. Play by the rules and you're all good. Just be a good person, right? Be a good, real creator and you will have no issues. All right, folks, tonight we are doing Crazy Dating Stories Volume 5. So without further ado, let's get back over to the browser screen and get to the last 2 postings. This one is pretty interesting. Let's switch on over. This is from the subreddit relationships_advice. And the original poster, who is a woman, states, "Boyfriend and I experiencing dry spell. Help." Wow. What happened, ma'am? Did you gain a few pounds? Did your attitude change? Let's see what happened here. Me, female 26, and my boyfriend. Ma'am, it's my boyfriend and I. That's proper English. You always state the other person first, but that's okay. Me and my boyfriend. Everybody says me first nowadays, right? Because they're all selfish, right? Us folks in the U.S. have always been the most illiterate people on the planet, but the U.S. is becoming more and more and more illiterate because of the internet nowadays. Anyway, Me, female 26, and my boyfriend, male 34. So he's a little bit older than you, probably a little bit more, I don't know if I'd say mature. He should be, but a little more experienced, right? Of 7 months, so you've been dating in 7 months, are experiencing a period of no sex for the last month, and it's really starting to get to me. Wow, ma'am, I don't blame you. What's going on here? I asked him about it, and he mentioned that he feels like we've been bickering a bit too much, a turnoff for him. He feels unappreciated by me, and that I focus on all things negative, and that he's just overall stressed. I don't blame him for that. That makes perfect sense. I'm going to give your boyfriend a big round of applause, not you, ma'am. Big round of applause for the guy being honest, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you folks something. I've been in that situation before, and I've always dated beautiful, physically attractive women that I also connect with at a mental and emotional level. And, when there's a lot of bickering and, you feel unappreciated as a guy, or you feel like no matter what you do, it's not good enough, or let's say the woman has emotional issues and it's draining you, right? It's a big turnoff to guys to want to be intimate with their woman, even if she's extremely hot and physically attractive. To me, as I've gotten older, I don't put up with crap just because a woman is hot, right? I mean, being hot is one thing, but having a great personality is another thing. I would be so turned off to be intimate with a woman I would be dating if she was bickering too much or had emotional overload and stuff like that, right? He's saying he feels unappreciated by me and that I focus on all things negative and that he's just overall stressed. Well, ma'am, it sounds like you're like overly needy. Maybe you're very clingy. Maybe you're suffocating him. And, man, you just gotta, you gotta just give him some space and time to miss you and want you, man. Maybe this woman has some issues that have traumatized her, stemming back to her childhood, or maybe some past relationships, there was abuse or something. At this point, I'm not really sure how to approach this. Well, you talked with him, ma'am, and he told you what the problem was. So what more do you need? Obviously, I know couples go through ups and downs, but it feels like I am the reason for the demise of our sexual connection. Ma'am, it is. And I believe the guy. Not because he's a guy, because I've been in that situation. It's a big turnoff to guys, even if you're hot. If you're hot and you're just, you bicker all the time and you whine and complain about every little thing and you're not easy to get along with, we're not going to want to F you, right? Or sleep with you, right? So again, she says, but it feels like I am the reason for the demise of our sexual connection, which seems like is tied to maybe a deeper, darker issue. The issue is you, ma'am. Your man told you the issue. Your man told you the issue, and instead of you talking it out with him, you came out to Reddit because you didn't want to accept the fact that you're the issue, ma'am. I'm surprised he hasn't dumped you yet. Wow. By the way, an example of me being negative to him is me telling him that I want to be cuddled at night, although he sees this as complaining because he feels like I don't cuddle the same way as him. It has nothing to do with that, ma'am. If it was just the cuddling thing, here's the thing, ma'am. Any woman that is cool, down to earth, easy going, easy to get along with, right, and is not overly needy or is not overly sensitive and pushy and stuff, right, and what's the other word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now. But any woman that's overly like needy and stuff like that, that's how guys are going to react to it. It's not that they don't want to cuddle with you. It's that they feel you expect it all the time and you demand it. Like if you have to demand something and it doesn't feel natural, men are just going to withdraw. That's what's happening here, ma'am. You're not getting it. Maybe this will teach you a lesson, but it might cost you the relationship with probably what's a pretty good guy, right? I see it as voicing my wants and needs since one of my love languages is touch, but he sees it differently. I also joke about it in conversation. Maybe he's more of an introverted guy, man. Maybe, you need to find a guy that's much more in touch with his emotions and feminine side. I think it's okay to a certain extent for even strong alpha males like myself to be in touch with our feminine side. Sure. So it could be that, man. I think maybe the two of you have two different types of love languages, right? And maybe he's just, not as romantic as you are, right? Maybe he's more vanilla. It sounds like to me you like a lot of affection, and maybe he doesn't. That could be an issue there too, but you're not going to know unless you ask him. Instead of coming out here on Reddit and, telling the whole world, and whining and complaining about it. Anyway, that is their, these people don't know how to write. Is there anything that can be done at this point? You can talk with him, ma'am, and ask him what's really going on and listen to him, right? Should we let each other go? That's up to you, ma'am. You need to talk with him first. And if you two are so far apart on the aspect of romance and intimacy, yeah, then you should let each other go. Let's see what the comment section said. There's a total of only 3 comments, so we'll be able to go through this. Somebody responded an hour ago with the name of the Smoking Horse. If after a 4-week dry spell you decide to let each other go, you will be alone forever because any long-term relationship, especially one that is between genuine adults as opposed to teens or even people in their early 20s, is bound to have its dry spells. Well, that is true to a certain extent, but that's not what's happening here. One of 2 things is happening here. A, she's being too pushy and too needy and expects way too much and suffocates the guy, doesn't let him breathe. Or B, this guy's love language is not at, the same level of where her love language is at. Some people are more affectionate than others. So the only way to find out is to talk about it with the guy. And if it doesn't correct itself, then you got to let each other go. This is not going to last here, I'm telling you. You need to think carefully about where you are in your life right now and how you weigh sex against relationship longevity. Sex is important; it has to be there. And this is when people talk like this, they're not only bullshitting us, they're bullshitting themselves, right? Sex is important. Okay, if you're not into your partner sexually on top of everything else, the mental, emotional, and spiritual, it's just not going to work. Come on, who are you trying to fool there? If a month-long dry spell really is a deal breaker, then break the deal and end it. You will both get over it and move on. I've never had that issue with any woman I've dated, with the exception of one relationship a couple exes ago. And, she was on a birth control called the Depo-Provera shot. And my lady that used to be a nurse will know what I'm talking about here. The Depo-Provera shot, has major side effects. And what started happening to my ex at that point, 3 or 4 months after being on it, she started bleeding every single day heavily. It's a major side effect of the Depo shot. And she ended up having that issue for like 2 or 3 months. And we were only able to have sex, be intimate one time during that 2 or 3 month period because there was only one day where she wasn't bleeding. And then I suggested something to her that one of my exes before her was using, the IUD. And she switched to the IUD, and that corrected the issue. Now, I didn't lose interest in her over that. She didn't lose interest in me. That is a legitimate situation. As a man, if you really care for your woman and stuff like that, you love your woman, you care for her, she's going through that, you're going to be there with her. You'll snuggle up with her. You'll still spend time with her, and you're going to have a genuine concern that you hope she doesn't bleed out, right? But besides that, that's the only legitimate, thing that would keep me around. Besides a medical issue like that, if a woman is perfectly healthy and can have intimacy, and she doesn't want to be intimate with me for like a month or two, uh, that's not going to work for you. It doesn't work for most, if not all, people. Anyway, if you value the relationship much more than sex, then pause to consider why he might be feeling this way and how it very well may be different to the reasons he is giving. Well, that's why she has to ask him. For instance, a man in his mid-30s can often experience periods of ED in response to stress. Well, it's not really ED. It's all about the attitude, right? Now, there is a possibility ED can happen at any age, but typically at that age, it wouldn't happen. See, for men, if they're not completely physically attracted to the woman and they don't feel the emotional bond, they don't feel like they're being respected by her, they won't even get hard. That's what happens, right? And then they won't even finish, right? So that's the thing. Now, there are some cases, like I said, if you are experiencing an injury or something like that, like, I've been recovering from a pinched nerve, which, it's still lingering a little bit, but it's much better. I'm almost at 100%. But sometimes it can affect my intimacy a little bit. It takes me longer to finish because of my pinched nerve. Sometimes I have to take breaks because I get tired quicker. But that's a legitimate reason right there. It has nothing to do with me not being attracted to my woman. But besides, a legitimate, health issue, like I explained about my ex-girlfriend and now I explained about me, there is no excuse. There is no excuse. If he is having a stressful time in his mind, his penis may not be functioning the way he wants it to, and this in turn can result in the desire to avoid sex. Well, that can happen to some guys, and that may very well be the case, but how's she going to know if she doesn't ask? Pressure from a partner to perform can then exacerbate this even more. That is true, but how else is she going to know if she doesn't ask? That's just one example. Bottom line, it is extremely unlikely that the dry spell is your fault. I doubt that. It's at least partially her fault because she's not communicating with him about it. She tried to communicate a little bit, but, didn't the answer he gave her didn't satisfy her, so she needs to ask, what do you mean by that? Can you be more specific, right? Guys, you got to be very, very specific with women because they're emotional beings and they're going to take things out of context. You got to be very, very specific, okay? His reduced libido will have many potential explanations, but if it really had anything to do with his attraction towards you, then the relationship would suffer in a way that went way beyond just sexual. This is what you folks don't get. A lot of times nowadays, people stay in relationships longer than necessary, even when they stop feeling that sexual desire, because there are other benefits, or they need that person for financial support. Maybe they share rent or they share other bills together, which is not a good reason to stick around with someone, but a lot of people do it. And more so women do this than men, but some men do it too. So, yeah, you just got to talk with the guy and see what happens. It says 3 comments, but there was only 1 comment there. Okay. The best coach on YouTube? What are you saying, Dion? Anyway, I appreciate that, Dion. I appreciate that, man. Even though these shows have not been getting a whole lot of traction lately, that's okay, man. That's okay. It's all going to come back. Plus, the pre-recorded videos are doing decent now. So these live streams are just an extra filler. I'm going to have some extra time. All right, let's get to the last Reddit posting here, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're at 1 hour and 26 minutes. Okay. This is from the subreddit Seduction. And I really, really liked this posting because it was very inspirational to me. The original poster states, Don't try to impress, but instead express. Express your true self and let the other person get to know the real you. Conversation. Okay, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, when you try to impress a woman, they pick up on that and they get turned off. And same thing for women, but this more so happens to men. But yeah, expressing yourself, how you feel, that's more so for a woman to do, at least initially. But a man can do it at times too. A man has to express his interest, but then he needs to back off and, then let the woman express hers. And you got to do what Coach Corey Wayne says. It's like a game of tennis. You hit the ball over the net, you wait for her to hit it back, right? You never want to express something twice to a woman before she at least expresses the same thing back to you in return. Okay, that's the key there. It's like a game of tennis. Hit the ball over the net, wait for her to hit it back, guys. All right. When a woman feels like you are actively trying to impress her, she may think that you are overcompensating for something else. Yeah, overcompensating for your, lack of, lack of security, or lack of confidence, self-confidence, and all that stuff. It is often insecure people who feel the greatest need to prove themselves. I'm going to give you a big round of applause for that. That's exactly what I was thinking. Lots and lots of insecure guys in their teens and 20s and even their 30s nowadays. And even in their 40s and 50s. I've seen a lot of them out here on YouTube. Anyway, we don't have to get into that. Not tonight, at least, right? Let's see. And if you don't even think that you are good enough, why should the woman, possibly someone that you just met, think any different? Right. If you don't like who you are, then how can you expect the woman to like you? Now, you don't go out and say, hey, I'm Eli. I love myself, so you should love me too. No. But you gotta, radiate positivity and let the woman feel that you're happy within yourself, right? By trying to immediately win a new person over, you are instantly communicating that you either want something from them or think that they are above you, neither of which is attractive. Right. Right. You just got to be cool, calm, collective, and be yourself. And if the woman is attracted to you, you'll know. There's no in between with women when it comes to attraction. And there really should be no in between for men, but a lot of men will still try to get with women that aren't right for them, right? With women, they pretty much almost right away know whether they're into you or not, even from the moment that they see, if you're on an online dating site or dating app, when they see your pictures and read your profile, they even know at that moment, what they could potentially feel, right? And then if they talk with you by phone and hear your voice and it goes well, they're going to feel even more of it, right? Okay? And then when you meet them in person, they're going to know right away if there's something there or not. If there's something there, then, they're going to show you, they'll give you some sign that they want you to kiss them or be close to them, right? You're going to know. Imagine what the behaviors of a self-secure, confident, high-value man with tons of options would look like. Okay, you can look at me. That's me. Would he actively be trying to impress a girl he liked? Nope, just be yourself, right? Sure, you let her know about you, let her know what you enjoy doing, what your purpose is, what you're passionate about, and then listen to the same aspects of her life, right? Okay? But I don't try to impress women. I just share about who I am, because how else are they going to get to know me, especially when you meet online or even in person? You got to ask questions, and they have to ask you questions. You have to answer them, and so do they. No, he would assume from the start that there is no reason that he is not good enough and thus not feel the need to try to actively sell himself. Yeah, don't overcompensate like this guy mentioned at the beginning of this. That's the last thing you want to do, and many guys do it nowadays. They overcompensate, right? And then it's a big turnoff. It's over. Let's see. The attractive traits of confidence and self-worth are implied when a person does not come off as a try-hard. You don't have to try at all. With women, they're either into you or they're not into you from the very beginning. And initially, it has to do with physical attraction for men and women, right? So the looks will get you in the door. If the looks get you in the door, at that point, you both have to focus on the mental, emotional, and spiritual connection. That's what it's all about after the physical attraction is established. All right, give me just a second here. All right. Let's see. All right, so there's a video on YouTube regarding this, but we're not going to go over. We're going to go over a few comments before we wrap things up. We are at 1 hour and 33 minutes. We'll be wrapping this up probably in about 5 or 10 minutes here. So get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or D Live. I'll do one final sweep in a second here before going off the air. All right, so let's read a few comments. This is true. I used to overcompensate all the time. Overcompensate for what? It was all in my head. You have to shake those false feelings. This stuff comes with age, though. It is definitely a work on yourself kind of issue. Yeah, that's called personal development. I've done a lot of that on myself over the last 20 years. You know, if we go back 20 years ago when I was 27, almost 28, I was a lot better off. I had learned more than my late teens or early 20s. But I still didn't know as much as I learned in my 30s. And now, even in my 40s, I've just learned so much more. I am so clear of who I am and what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy. So it'll come with time. You work on yourself. You won't overcompensate for things. We've all guys and gals have done that at one point or another, right? But at some point, you got to rise above it because it's unattractive and it doesn't portray the real you. I now actively try to be more modest in public. I no longer feel the need to wear flashy stuff. I dress down. Well, you should still dress the way you want to dress. I dress nice pretty much most of the time. Sometimes I dress down if I'm not hanging out with anyone. But here's the thing. If I'm hanging out with my lady or some friends or family or something, I'll dress nice. Doesn't mean you have to overdress. I've got nice sporting apparel. I love sporting apparel, or sporty apparel is what I'm trying to say. Like some nice sweats, a nice t-shirt, maybe, a nice, hooded sweater, or a nice sport jacket, right? You don't have to like overly dress like jeans and a nice shirt, like a Calvin Klein liquid cotton polo shirt like I have. Well, I just got a message from my lady. Let me see. Give me a second here. I'll be ready. Okay, maybe she's listening. Who knows? Anyway, distractions. Let's just continue here. Just dress the way you want to dress. Don't dress down deliberately just to try to, prove that you're not overcompensating. Dressing nice is not overcompensating. Okay. Nobody would know if I have money. I keep it subtle. I stop trying to have the coolest car. I actively try to not talk about myself or hype myself up. Instead, I hype others up. Please respond. People respond much better to this. Well, listen, I wouldn't try to hide who you are. Maybe you've had some issues with women dating you just because you have money. And maybe they're not attracted to you. Maybe you're not the most attractive guy, and they use you for that, bro. I mean, you shouldn't have to hide who you are for anyone. Just learn to better filter out people, that are with you for the right reasons compared to ones that are not with you for the right reasons. That's it. This, when I was younger, I had no balls to actually approach and be myself. Well, we've all been through that. That's great that you own that. I always prepared a stack of openers. DHV stories. What is DHV? DHV. Give me a second. Demonstration of higher value. Okay. Yeah, these acronyms, not everyone knows them, so you gotta put in parentheses what it means, at least the first time you use it, right? Demonstration of higher value stories, trying to micromanage every little thing in the interaction because I was afraid that if the girl doesn't see all the flashy and smooth game, she will see me and I am nobody. Why would she ever like me for me? If you question that, bro, then she will question it and she will not give you a chance. You're lacking self-love and self-respect. Just be you. Regardless of what you have or don't have, just be yourself and don't worry about what anyone, including any woman's going to think about you. Just go out on dates and see what happens, right? Only after I dropped the routines and focused only on the fundamentals, eye contact, tonality, how to keep the conversation going and flirt. Great chapter about it in this guide. Okay, check it out later. I'm having longer term success with girls. Okay. So you drop the routines and focus on the fundamentals. You focused on bettering yourself and respecting yourself more, right? And, not trying to be someone you're not trying to hide anything, but not saying too much either. You became well balanced. That's good. Fantastic. Before that, I might have gotten laid here and there with one-night stands, but I could never keep the girl to continue interacting with me longer, and I always felt like I am an imposter. Because maybe you were a player, dude. Maybe you just weren't ready for a relationship, but you just still wanted to sleep with a woman every now and then, because everyone has needs. Both men and women have needs. But you turned it around. Good for you, bro. Big round of applause! Yeah, good for you. Let's read 2 more comments, and then we're going to go off the air. Please get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to go off the air after just a couple of more comments here. Okay. All of this makes sense, but it just makes me sad. Pretend you don't like them and all these rules. I wish this could be fun. I'm starting to think this stuff isn't for me. It's just too much work, a third job I don't get paid for. I'm not making any sense of what you just said there. It sounds like you're just unhappy within yourself and you're vomiting like emotions out of control. And I think you're a guy, and that's not masculine energy. So we're going to let you go, bro. I'm going to read a couple more messages because that was a waste of time right there. Not having to masturbate is all the payment that I need. All right, big round of applause for that one, brother. I just thought that was pretty funny. There's a lot of truth to it, but that was pretty funny. That was funny as hell. All right, last one here. If I could get hookups, I would be satisfied, but that's comically difficult for me. Well, anyone can get hookups as long as they have some game, right? And when I say game, it's as long as they know how to talk with women, right? Because you have to be able to talk with women even if you're not looking for a hookup. Even if you're looking for something real, which is what I'm trying to say, you have to have some game, meaning you have to know how to communicate and talk with women and attract them, right? Okay? I roll my eyes when I hear about the hookup culture. Yeah, sure. For you above average looking people now on the spectrum, I'm sure it's heaven. So in essence, you're probably overweight and you probably don't dress well. You probably don't take care of yourself. And instead of, turning that around by losing some weight, by going on a diet and exercising regularly and buying some new clothes and wearing some cologne and showering every day, right, and doing all that, instead of doing that to turn things around, you come out here on Reddit in the seduction forum and you project your insecurities, dude. Come on, man. I see this way too often. This is sad. And look, he's projecting on us guys that can actually get women because we take care of ourselves. And we understand that that's what it takes, right? do you not want a woman that takes care of herself? So why does that mean she should accept you if you don't take care of yourself? After 6 months of putting myself out there, going to bars and meetups 3 times a week, all I have to show for is 8 dates that went nowhere. Well, obviously, you're doing something wrong. You're either not taking care of yourself and they're not physically attracted to you, or they are attracted to you, but the way you show up with your personality, like, they just get repelled. 1 makeout and 1 hookup. Okay, dude, that's actually not bad. You went on 8 dates and you made out with 1 and you hooked up and banged 1. I'd say those are pretty typical numbers. You're not going to make out and bang every chick you meet. Dude, you're being way too hard on yourself. Way too hard on yourself. All this mental torture for a small dopamine hit. Dude, you're probably really young and you have a lot to learn. And dude, yes, if you want to get a woman nowadays, it does take some work, even for the best of us, right? Even for us experienced guys that are attractive and take care of ourselves and know what to say and know what to do. It still takes more work than it ever has. And it can be draining. So you have to decide, dude, do you want to play or not? When I say play, I don't mean take advantage of a woman. I mean, do you want to play in the dating arena and find someone to date for a long-term relationship and possibly marriage? Or do you not want to play? You can withdraw. It's up to you. You can go MGTOW if you want. Men going their own way. Those dudes would be happy to have you. They'll project on you and you'll project on them all day, every day. And you all can die a pathetic and miserable, lonely life. But I don't wish that upon anyone. I'm just saying those are your options, bro. Okay? When I think back, the best part was all the drugs and alcohol. That's not good at all, dude. I got to not feel terrible about myself for a short while. So the drugs and alcohol mask your pain. You've got unresolved issues stemming back to your childhood, more than likely, dude. And you're probably out of shape, and you probably don't have the best clothes, and who knows, maybe, your family is not the wealthiest family. Who knows, dude? But you got to find a way to turn it around because you sound depressed, dude. I think you need to see a therapist. Sounds like you're depressed, man. Let's see here. I did talk to my new psychiatrist today. Okay, cool. You got a psychiatrist. There we go. There we go. And they are going to put me on antidepressants. So you're clinically diagnosed with depression. Maybe they will help. Well, dude, maybe you should have put that at the beginning of your posting so we could have been a little more easy on you, knowing that you have clinical depression, and that's why you're saying what you're saying and feeling the way you're feeling about yourself. All right, that's going to wrap up this show, folks. I'm going to go back to full screen here. We are at 1 hour and 45 minutes. All right, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Hey, Joe Shipley, how you been, bro? I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, good evening, Coach Eli. What's been going on with you? Happy holidays to you and your family. I'm just about to go off the air. I don't know if you've noticed, I've been putting out a lot of pre-recorded videos lately, more than going live. I'm still doing more mobile live streams, but I've only been doing about 1 in-studio live stream per week, but just cranking out pre-recorded content like it's out of style, man. But it was great to see you here tonight. Thank you for being here, Joe. Thank you to Sifu Smoke, Dion for being here. Thank you to Lewis Fuller who popped in earlier and gave me a like. And thank you to anyone else watching behind the scenes or if you are watching the replay. Folks, please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook and DLive. Please come over to YouTube and join us over here because that's where the party's happening most of the time. And like I said, I have a lot more content coming to this channel. I just released another bedtime stories video almost an hour ago. It published automatically, so go check it out after the stream ends if you'd like. Tomorrow morning, another episode of Walking with Purpose, pre-recorded edition in 4K at 60 frames per second will release at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. and another bedtime stories with Eli will be released tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. And for the rest of the week through Friday, that's how it's going to be. Bedtime stories will probably continue throughout the weekend. Walking with Purpose pre-recorded at 4K 60 will only happen Monday through Fridays. I may even switch it up next week and do card chat or something like that to kind of switch it up. But whether it's card chat or Walking with Purpose or something like that, that'll be Monday through Fridays in the morning. And bedtime stories, I'm going to try to do one of those each and every night, 7 days a week. Of course, I will pre-record them all in advance, but let's see how much we can sustain it. Sifu Smo, Dion says, great show. Thank you so much, Dion. Thank you, folks. Please have yourselves a great day, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye. Bye.